Big news, guys! Big news! I'm really excited, and I just want to share with you something that's going on in my life right now. My fiance and I, we just bought a house! Oh yeah! We got us a beautiful 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom ranch. I really was looking for a walkout basement, and we found one with that. We got a beautiful deck. It's our dream home. We'll be moving on in there start of September, so when we get all moved into our new home, I should be able to do episodes far more frequently. I'll be probably taking on some new projects, and yeah, it should be a good time all around. I'm also hoping to, once we get our finances in order, get my computer upgraded a little bit, and hopefully I'll be able to bring you some higher quality video programming here. So stay tuned for that. That's all coming down the pipeline, hopefully in the next few months here. So before I forget, let me welcome you folks to episode 7 of At a Loss for Words. Now, I know I promised you guys fighting soon, but, well, I hate to break it to you, but we ain't gonna be fighting this episode. We got a little bit left to do here in Freeside, and I'd like to get that stuff all taken care of. But we're gonna be getting a few more speech failures. I know you guys are antsy to see this challenge get near completion here, and I know it's been slow going at the start, but I have a few tricks up my sleeve for that. See, there's a few spots where we can rack up quite a few speech failures.
I have no idea.
And those will be coming up mighty quick here, so stay tuned for that. Now, you folks might have also noticed I did a little upgrade into my channel. Got a little bit more nicer feel to it now. I spent a good deal of time tweaking the layout, and I also went and added some nice channel art there. That there pic is yours truly. Yes, I know, I'm a handsome devil. So definitely let me know what you think of my new channel layout and channel art in the comments. If you guys don't like it, well, tell me why. And then I can definitely look into maybe doing something a little bit different. If you like it, well, let me know. Because, well, it was a lot of work, and it's nice to hear if I did something right. So, yeah. Quick tip for you folks. If you ever have something that you're having trouble stealing because you're always detected, try grabbing it and dragging it. You can do this with a lot of stuff. It works pretty good. Now, one thing you have to be careful of is sometimes certain NPCs have really high perception, and you have to be very careful that you're not detected when you try and steal it. Just going around a corner doesn't always work. Well, there's no reason to make you folks watch me wander around aimlessly here, so I'll meet you folks again when something interesting's happening. I'm gonna just quickly discover the Crimson Caravan Company here, and we'll meet right back up in just a moment, so stay tuned. Target acquired. We're locked on and ready to roll. All systems go. Opening fire. Target is eliminated. Kill confirmed. I think, Veronica's embarrassed to be around me sometimes. Mister. Yeah, I know, Veronica. I can't help myself. I got problems. Next, we're gonna mosey on down to the Old Mormon Fort, and we're gonna get us another speech failure.
If it can be bought, it can
first,
be found
we'll
at
talk to some people in the general vicinity.
Needs, sir.
We haven't talked to anyone over on that side of town yet. I tried to avoid doing so because sometimes you can have Freeside thugs spawn and attack you. And before we hit level 2, that was actually a major concern because it would be a very easy way to accidentally reach level 2. And since Veronica can't control herself, and likes to kill them without asking,
I got you covered. Cheap
you gotta do what you gotta do. What you got on the menu today, pal? Anything scrum-diddly-umptious? Got some tasty snacks? I'd like some,
Typically, I find
rib.
it goes down better if I leave people guessing. So what do you say? Want some?
What do you mean, guessing? Where do you get your food?
I have my little helpers out and about, always looking for fresh things to add to the stew pot. You may have seen them around somewhere yourself. Now deny your hunger no longer.
Oh, gross.
You won't regret it, at least until an hour or so from now.
Yeah, you know, I think you might need a better business strategy, pal. That's not a very effective way of marketing your product. Another quick item stealing tip. Now, you see how I'm taking these even though I'm detected? Well, items are flagged belonging to somebody. And if that person is not considered part of a particular faction or group, then taking items from them is actually not going to offend anyone. So I'm just double checking, make sure I didn't lose any rep, and obviously my Freeside rep is intact. So literally nobody cared that I just robbed that guy blind. Something to keep in mind.
This man's prices
Bodyguards,
are steep, but I hear he's worth it.
You know, Veronica's all the bodyguard I think I'll ever need. I mean, she's got a real mean 1-2 knockout punch.
This gentleman and I were just settling on a price. I'm afraid you'll have to hire one of the others this time around.
Well, let's just say I was in the market for a
ease,
bodyguard.
You hire
What
a
you
king.
got?
We're everywhere, and no one messes with us. Your safety is practically guaranteed for just 100 caps.
You know, I really haven't been attacked much. Why would I need a
Freeside's
bodyguard?
a little dangerous for people traveling alone or in small groups. You go without a guard, you're rolling the dice. You know? You must be new. Your tune will change, trust me.
Roll the dice, monkey
You want to
boy.
travel to Freeside.
You know, this kind of brings up an interesting point. Where the heck are all the Freeside thugs that are supposed to be spawning? Usually I try and stroll through here and they're spawning like every freaking 10 feet. There's times that the streets are practically thick with corpses. I mean, I wouldn't want to be the guy that has to clean all that up. I was really hoping that Freeside thug would spawn with a pair of spiked knuckles and I could acquire one of those. As I think I stated once before, spiked knuckles are one of my favorite early game weapons, and I'm kind of disappointed that I haven't got a pair yet. Usually I get lucky and end up with a pair by now, but, well, we'll see how things play out. If worse comes to worse, I knew a few locations I can go to acquire some, so no worries. Ah, the Old Mormon Fort.
The gunrunners ought to help the followers
Lair
by
of the
donating
followers
some
of
of
the
that firepower they've got.
apocalypse. As I said before, I really admire the followers.
When people have got nothing
I
left,
really
they can
appreciate
always
what
turn to
they
the
try to
followers.
do in the wastes.
Howdy.
Howdy to you, cowgirl. How's it going?
I've been around a while. Currently working for the followers as a gun for hire, but it's getting rather dull. Aside from protecting them from the occasional thug looking to intercept supply shipments, there isn't much to do around here. The one researcher I liked who I could chat up about liquor got transferred. And the rest of the docs are pretty uptight about my kind of fun.
So how'd somebody like you end up with the followers? You don't seem
I
like
joined
the
up looking
followers
for a
type.
decent paying job. Granted, the pay's all right, but they won't let me kick back and slog a brew at the end of the day. They're worried the filthy drunkies in detox seeing me drink will cause an immediate relapse. I say their rehab effort here is just a revolving door.
An experienced wastelander like yourself
I've
must
been
have
around
seen a
long
lot
enough
over the
to
years.
observe the patterns of human behavior. Physical and mental anguish are especially exciting to explore.
And thank you for that terrifying answer, ma'am.
Hey, Who doesn't enjoy a little pinch and squeal every once in a while?
So, what else you know?
What do you have in mind?
You got any advice for me? Any interesting anecdotes
Good?
to share?
Bad. The guy with the gun makes the rules.
Good advice.
The only thing I know for certain is that I don't know nothing.
I've been told the same on many
Feed a
occasions.
man for free, and he'll be back asking for more. Feed a man a bullet, you won't hear from him again.
Not sure that's the recommended way to get rid of company, but hey, who knows?
Time you enjoy wasting isn't wasted time.
Truer words have never been spoken. Well, you know anything else?
And I may have answers.
So, what's the inside scoop on Freeside?
What starts in misery tends to stay there. Freeside wasn't Freeside until 6 or 7 years ago. That's when Mr. House's robots rolled out of the Lucky 38 and started pushing everyone who wouldn't join him off the strip. Lots of folks died. Some scattered to the winds. The rest wound up in Freeside and seemed never to lose the habit of living like refugees.
So, I hear a lot about the Kings.
What
Who
about
are
them?
they?
Pretty much the sort of gang you'd find anywhere else, just with better clothes. The king himself, though, he's got that something special you can't put a finger on. Too bad he likes girls with skin.
You know, what do you think of the NCR?
I reckon they care about getting water and electricity from the dam, and that's where it ends. The locals here are just an inconvenience to them, something to step over or stomp down. They're here for the resources, plain and simple.
So what do you think of Mr. House? Can we trust him?
Before or after the human race shot itself in the foot? I've been around long enough to have both opinions, see. Before the war, Mr. House was a famous captain of industry. Robotics, to be specific. Seemed charming in interviews, until he became a recluse. Since the war, though, didn't make a peep for near 200 years. But when he came back strong and killed a lot of people.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like such a nice guy after
I don't
all.
know how they do it. They're like saints, those followers. If they didn't charge for their services, I'd think they was crazy. But nah, they're just naive. Warms their heart.
So, who are the Van
Couple
Graffs I
of
keep
rad
hearing about?
scorpions, those two. Gloria is the stable one, but she'd slit your throat if there's a profit in it. Or rather, she'd tell her brother to do it for her. John Baptiste is one of the sicker humans I've had the displeasure of observing.
Well, they don't sound
What
like
did you
very
wanna
nice
know?
people at all. I'll, do
Later.
my best to avoid them. Well, ma'am, I'm gonna mosey on out here. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Hey,
What's up?
Hi. What's your story? You got any interesting things to tell me? Arcade Gannon is one of the companions
Hi.
you can get.
If you're looking for medical help, try the other doctors. I'm just a researcher, not even a particularly good one.
Sounds like you kinda hate your job, buddy.
Oh, you know, finding alternative treatments for common illnesses and injuries, stim packs out of barrel cacti, and other fantastic improbabilities. As far as fruitless wastes of time go, it's quite noble in its aims.
You know, I get this feeling you're
For the
not
past
too
100
thrilled
years or
with what
so,
you're
the
doing.
followers have managed to get by using salvaged medical supplies from the old world. But the side effect of medical success is that more people live longer. Funny how that works. Eventually, we'll run out of hospitals to loot. We need new ways to produce those supplies, or maybe old ways if this research goes anywhere.
You know, you don't seem too happy to be helping people.
I'm enthusiastic about helping people, but nihil novi sub sole.
Excuse me? What does that mean, buddy? Cause, you got me
sorry.
confused.
There's nothing new under the sun. If agave and mesquite were that miraculous, the locals would have figured it out a few thousand years ago.
Funny story about that, pal. I can actually make a bunch of healing supplies
Not from the Legion,
on my
if
crafting
that's what you're
bench with
getting at.
those.
Books, sheet music, gladiator movie holotapes, bits and pieces here and there. The followers have extensive libraries, but we all draw water from the same old well. Even Caesar.
Wait, did you just say Caesar? What do you know about Caesar?
I don't know anything that the others couldn't tell you. Caesar was one of the followers. Before my time, of course. He wanted to rebuild the new world in the image of the old. A sad story of good intentions gone bad. In that regard, he's hardly unique. If you set aside his leadership capabilities, extensive knowledge, and ruthless cunning, he's just another jerk who steps on people to get his way.
The road to hell
Certainly.
is paved with good intentions. Good intentions often can go awry.
Cuts, lacerations, broken bones, infections resulting from all of the above. Common cold, influenza, take your pick. There are plenty of ways to die out here, and most of them, surprisingly, don't have anything to do with war. Just common human fragility.
Yeah, the wastes are a harsh, unforgiving place.
Not all followers are people persons. Besides, someone needs to do research. I have no problem with Julie sticking me back here. Out of sight, out of mind. There are worse things one can be, though I do admit it is a bit boring. Though it has a noble goal, I don't think this research will yield much fruit. No pun intended.
You know, if you're so bored, I could use
No
a good
offense
doctor.
intended, but why should I go anywhere with you?
Because I'm charming and the life of the party?
Probably not. Until things settle down around here, alleviating my boredom isn't a good motive to leave. Sorry.
You know, fine. Be that way. I
Hello
don't
again.
even need your
Still
help.
in one piece, I see.
You sure you won't reconsider? I mean,
The last
use
time we
the help.
discussed this, you didn't exactly wow me with your pitch. What have you got for me this time?
I got nothing. Well, why do you do research
Like I said
instead
before,
of medical aid?
not all followers are good with people. I'm fine doing research back here, even if it is a bit boring and pointless and a complete waste of time. Don't mind me. I'm just voicing my thoughts so they don't burrow out of my skull in a fit of abject despondency.
He is just such a delightfully
Certainly.
happy person, isn't he? Do you need any
Me
help?
specifically? No. I'm sure Julie Farkas does, though. Lab coat, pointy hair. Answers to the name Julie Farkas, strangely enough. I'm sure she can find something for you to do. It might be kind of depressing and terrible, though. Caveat Samaritanus.
You're kind of snide and full
See
of
you around.
sarcasm, buddy, but, you know, hey, it's a living. Can't really fault you for it, I guess. Well, come on, Veronica. Let's look around and see if there's anything else
There are
interesting
people in
this
Freeside who need food
place.
and medicine.
Hey,
Hey.
lady. Hey,
I didn't
lady.
know the Brotherhood
Are
had
you
any
the
people
one
out
who
here.
answers to Julie Farkas? Hey, Julie
Are
Farkas?
you here to drop off medical supplies? Leave them with the rest in the middle of the courtyard.
Make sure you have Veronica with when you first talk to Julie Farkas. It's
Rates of
important.
injury and illness in Freeside are very high. Supplies don't last long.
Well, and how could I help? I would definitely like to help you guys
Medics,
out a little
Radaway,
bit.
and Fixer are Freeside essentials. I can't pay you for any supplies you bring in, but I could discount the charge for our services.
Sounds like a good deal to me, lady. You got yourself a med runner. Sign me on up.
Just come see me when you've got some supplies to turn in.
Will do, ma'am, but it seems you could use a real
So far, the Crimson
supplier.
Caravan won't cut us a deal. If you can convince them or some other merchant to work with us, I'll discount supplies to you.
Have anyone in mind that might actually cut a deal?
You might ask around at Mick and Ralph's, or go see the Garretts, though I suspect they're too busy poisoning Freeside to help it out.
Well, don't judge
What
a
do you
book
wanna
by
talk
its
about?
cover. We could always try talking to them. You never know.
More than rough. It's a damn mess. Freeside townies are constantly picking fights with NCR civilians. Thugs and thieves are always looking for a victim, and the local families are just sitting back making caps on the mess. Freeside is in dire need, but no one has been man enough to step up. The followers can only do so much to stem the tide.
Well, isn't there any way I could help out?
There is always something needing done. A few souls here in Freeside could be great assets to the community if they'd kick their addictions. We need a regular supply of medicine organized, but the Crimson Caravan wants too many caps for what we need. Lastly, tensions between the townies and NCR tourists have been going downhill fast lately. A lot of innocent people will get hurt if things blow up.
Well, how can I help these addicts you mentioned?
Yes, old Bill Ronte and Jacob Hoff. They're not going to kick their habits on their own.
Well, tell me a little bit about this Bill
Old
Ronte
Bill
fella.
Ronte is an exceptionally skilled machinist. He could fix the problems we've been having with Freeside's water pump, if he sobered up.
All right, tell me a little bit about this
The
Jacob
Garretts
Hoff
hooked
guy.
Jacob on chems when he was working for them. Ironic, since he used to homebrew detox chems. He's a natural chemist.
Well, where can I find these poor guys?
In Freeside, the drunks and drug addicts flock in and around the atomic wrangler. I'd start there.
I'll do whatever I can to help them, Julie. I promise.
Sobering them up and putting them back to work would go a long way toward helping Freeside.
Well, let's talk about something else.
What do you want
before
to
I
talk
tear
about?
up. So, how could I help things out in Freeside? What would I need to do to help diffuse the situation?
The big man around here is the king. Not much happens in Freeside that he doesn't know about. He has the most influence locally, and some of his crew haven't helped the situation by harassing NCR citizens and charging double for water. Some NCR soldiers have been bringing in supplies, but none of it is going to Freeside locals. I've tried to speak to both sides to no avail.
Well, I'll see what I can do, Julie.
What
do you
seems
have
to be the
any
problem?
medical services you offer? Julie, I'm addicted to stim
You don't
packs.
show any signs of physical dependency. Nothing I can do for psychological dependency, I'm afraid.
I'm badly hurt, Doc.
You look fine to me.
Oh, wow.
I hope this isn't drug-seeking behavior. Though, I've never seen anyone get addicted to stim packs.
I just told you, Doc, I'm addicted
That's easy
to
enough
stim
to clear
packs.
up.
Well, you know what? I don't have
I'm
the caps
sorry,
for
but I can't give
radiation
you meds for nothing. There are too many people who need these supplies.
Well, what if I had some medical supplies to drop off? How
Anything
about
else?
that? Could I get a discount or
Great.
something?
What do you have?
Well, you know what? I can't afford
What do you
to
wanna
give you
talk
my
about?
Med-X right now. Maybe some other time. I'm
We're
sorry.
pretty short-handed as it is, but I suppose I could spare a few items.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna save my money for now. I don't have that many caps to burn.
We don't have a lot right now, but this is what I can offer for sale.
I said maybe next time, Doc. Yeah. Well, we'll come back later when I
What
got
did you
want to
know?
What's your take on the water pump
Bill
situation?
Ronte installed that pump a few years ago, back when he was sober. It was a major improvement for the community. But lately, the Kings have started charging locals to use it, and NCR squatters twice as much. That'll come to no good.
Yeah, that sounds like a tense situation.
They've been Freeside's gang for the past 5 years or so, ever since Mr. House and his 3 families pushed everyone else out of Vegas. They've done a lot of good for the community, but that seems to be changing. The flood of NCR squatters has been an affront to them. I guess that explains the situation with the water pump. Usually, the king wouldn't let his crew bully folks around like that.
Well, what can you tell me about Mick and Ralph?
I know they sell a lot of guns, as if that's what Freeside needs. I hear Mick handles the guns. No idea what Ralph does.
I keep hearing about these bad eggs called the Van
them.
Graffs. What
They
do you
sell
know?
energy weapons, which are very popular with better-heeled prospectors looking to explore the wastes. Stay clear of them. Brother and sister are both psychopaths, though at least Gloria is rational. Jean-Baptiste likes killing.
Yeah, everything I hear about them doesn't
A den
sound
of
too
iniquity.
nice.
The Garretts do more than their share to keep the locals drunk or high enough to stay lazy. Their thugs, on the other hand, they keep wired on chems to stay dangerous. What is it with Freeside and brother-sister psychopath teams?
Yeah, brother-sister psychopath teams
What did you
seem
wanna
all the
know?
rage right now, I guess. But what's
The
this
Old Mormon
place?
Fort serves as the regional hub for the followers of the Apocalypse. I am the administrator for this region.
And what is it exactly that the followers of the,
The followers of the
do here?
Apocalypse aren't just interested in research. We care for our fellow man and do everything we can to help humanity. Here in Freeside, we provide food and medical services for those in need. We also have organized reconstruction efforts. With the help of Bill Ronte, we were able to install a water pump just west of here, but the Kings quickly took control of the pump.
Who are the followers of the Apocalypse? What are
We
your
arose
goals?
from the boneyards of Edidum years ago. Since then, we have made it our mission to rebuild the wasteland and re-educate its inhabitants. We hope to forge a brave new world free of war and poverty by sharing knowledge and resources. Our primary goal is the free exchange of ideas.
So now that we've
What do you
talked
wanna
to
talk about?
Julie Farkas, Veronica should have something to say. So I'm just gonna wander around for a moment until Veronica chimes in to let me know that she'd like to talk to me.
Hello.
This is part of Veronica's companion
Can't help but be
quest.
impressed with what they're doing
There
here.
we go. Talk to me, Veronica. Let's have a
I can't help but
heart-to-heart.
notice that the Brotherhood barely exists to these people out here. We're like an urban myth, no real presence on the outside. We just don't adapt like we should. Used to be that all you needed to get your way was a suit of power armor and a laser rifle. Now, people are armed and organized. They're not afraid. But we still stick to our old approach because it's all we know.
Confucius says, those that do not adapt will eventually fade into obscurity. So, Veronica, the Brotherhood needs
I think
to
you're
change.
right. We're getting desperate. Hardly enough people to sustain ourselves as a chapter. They'll see the light, sooner or later. But I get the feeling if I don't take matters into my own hands, the change won't come in time to make a difference.
I know, and good luck convincing
See you
those
around.
hard heads in the Brotherhood to actually listen to you. They're notorious for sticking to their codex. Unfortunately, if the Brotherhood remains stuck in their ways, eventually they'll just disappear entirely. Their numbers are dwindling, and there is just too many people out there that are hostile to them. They haven't made very many friends with their hard-handed approach to technology. I'd also like to take a moment to remind you folks, once this channel hits 25 subscribers, I plan to do a special series where I do a very hardcore Iron Man run. And that should be pretty exciting. I've got an idea in my head of the build I want to use for it, but we'll have to see how that goes. Once we finally hit 25 subscribers, I'm gonna just go for it. I'm gonna fire it up, make my character, and the only time I'll save is if I need to quit playing for some reason. But once I die, that series is done. And for that one, I won't be cutting anything out. I will just be going full bore as fast as I can. And it should be a blast. I don't know how far I'll get. Hey, I might die right outside of Good Springs. Won't that be embarrassing? But we'll see. But if you want to see that, definitely, if your friends haven't seen my my channel, definitely point them my direction if you think that's something they might enjoy. And just help me get the word out there. I think I've got a lot of good information, and well, I hope you folks have found me entertaining so far. I'd like to think so, at least. So, yeah, let's help this channel grow. And besides, it should be a good laugh when I die to a group of Kazdors 5 feet outside of Good Springs. But we'll see. We'll see just how that goes in the future. As you folks may have just seen, we just obtained our second snow globe. Now we have the snow globe for Good Springs and the snow globe for the Old Mormon Fort. It's going to be quite some time, in fact, before we're able to turn those in. Unfortunately, we won't be going to see Mr. House for quite a long time. Because we're going to actually be trying to maximize our faction reps, and I'm actually going to be juggling reputations with the Legion, the NCR, Mr. House. And the reason it's so important that we don't see Mr. House for a long time is when you first visit him, you get a one-time chance to reset all of your NCR infamy to 0. And that is going to be extremely important because I am actually in the Lonesome Road expansion. I'm going to be bombing the NCR and the Legion, and they're both going to hate me
the pump is property of the king.
A lot.
You'll need to pay
So,
if you want to drink.
Yeah, we'll
the
be
king
being
controls the
very
water
cautious
pump.
about that.
If you want water, you need to pay like everyone else.
You know, water's free, buddy. I can
If
get
we
it
let
out of the
everyone
tap
run amok,
anyway.
the damn NCR would shut us down. Gotta have some way to regulate usage.
Well, how much is it for
Just
a
a
drink?
few caps for a good long swig.
What do you mean a few caps?
Anything else you
10
want?
caps is highway robbery.
Sure thing.
It's ludicrous. How can you charge those kind of prices? It's water. I
Another
can get it
satisfied
anywhere.
customer.
Oh my, jeez.
The pump is property of
Oh,
the
I
king.
can't
You'll need to
believe
pay
these
if you want
people.
a drink.
Well, I'm gonna jump forward in time a little bit, folks, because, well, you don't want to see me just wander around aimlessly trying to decide where to go next. So, don't touch that dial. see you soon. And I'm back. Well, I hope you didn't miss me
there.
too much. Well, we already
You
found
have
Jacob
chems, buddy?
off here, so let's
I
talk
could
to
really
him.
use a fix.
You know, man, another fix is probably the last thing you need. Julie Farkas says you're in rough shape.
Julie's a saint, but I don't need help. I feel young and strong, as long as I get my chems.
You know, Jacob, you really should
Why
quit
stop?
the habit.
I feel great. No worries. My guy will be here soon enough. Just wait.
So who is the scumbag that's feeding
If
you
I
the
had 2
chems?
caps to scrape together, I'd buy the materials to make my own. My damn hands won't stop shaking. This guy named Dixon. Something about him seems sketchy, but I can't stop now. Last time I stopped, I felt like I was gonna turn inside out. At this point, I'm mostly buying his stuff just so I don't feel sick. Speaking of which, do you have any spare caps?
Hang in there, Jacob. I'm gonna
Bye.
go talk to this Dixon guy and get to the bottom of this. Alright, where's this scumbag? I'm gonna make him pay. You there,
Looking
what's
for
the
a fix,
meaning
man?
of this?
I got what you need.
What have you done to Bill and Jacob? I know you're behind this. You've been poisoning them with your bad chems.
Looking for a fix, man?
So what do you have to say for yourself?
Yeah, man. Those cats are out of their domes addicted to my shit. They can't get enough. Pretty hilarious to watch.
You're a real scum-sucking pig dog, aren't you, Dixon?
Really? Ah, you're such a saint. You know what? I might be willing to stop if there's something in it for me.
You know what's in it for you? My fist. Not hitting your face repeatedly, scumbag.
Wow, you really suck at this, don't you? Go bully some mole rats, jackass.
How about if I tossed you some caps to get you to stop?
300 caps and I'll stop selling to them. Otherwise, it is just too much fun watching them spiral downward.
300 caps? You ain't worth 300 caps,
You
scumbag.
sorry sad sack. Come back when you've got the caps.
Are you trying to kill your customers, you
Those
sick
fools
bastard?
are from NCR. I'd love seeing those squatters in agony. We were doing just fine before those shits came here and made a mess of things. We don't need NCR eggheads wandering around confusing things.
He's lucky because
Come on
we're
back.
not
You have
gonna
any
kill
interesting
him.
news?
We're gonna come back when our speech is higher. We're gonna do this the diplomatic way. Besides, I like trying to avoid killing NPCs if I don't have to. But he does really want to push me into giving him the pointy end of my pig sticker. Alright, next we're gonna head on down to the Kings and we're gonna
We've
get
got stuff we're
ourselves
not even
another
allowed
speech
to sell,
failure.
people. Only at Mick and Russ.
Well, unfortunately, kid, they wouldn't sell me any of the stuff they're not allowed to sell. Guess I don't have enough speech skill. Jeez. Tread lightly, Veronica. We're off to see the king cool. Oh, yeah. Did you folks know that the King's gang is not actually evil? They are considered a neutral entity. Which makes sense. You don't really see them doing anything too bad. Now, this Pacer guy that we're about to talk to, he's actually one bad cat, but we're not gonna kill him either.
What do we have here? Another petitioner for the king?
Oh yeah.
Who's
I'm here
the
to see the
king?
king.
You believe this, asshole man? In Freeside, the kings rule. And the king rules the kings, got it?
Well, I think the king's gonna want to see
Anything's
me.
possible, I
Oh,
suppose. How much is it worth to you to meet the big man?
Yeah. Trust me. King's gonna want to see me.
No, trust me. The king will want to see you if I want you to see him. Come back when you figure out how the world works.
Personal space meaning anything to you, guy?
Now that is just rude and uncalled
Look who's
for.
back. If you want to see the king, you better pay up.
Well, I'm a little broke right now, but catch you
Then
later,
the king
big guy.
has no interest in seeing you.
Oh, trust me.
Look who's back.
King's gonna want to see me, cause I'm
What do I
Prince
look
of
like, a
Cool.
beggar to you? Take a hike, cheapskate.
Cheapskate? Cheapskate? Nobody calls me a cheapskate. Come on, Veronica. We're out of this dump. Cheapskate. Why, I'll have you know, I just spent 4,000 caps on an intelligence implant.
Lasers, plasma,
Doesn't sound
pistols,
like cheapskate
grenades.
to me.
We've got it all at the Silver Rush.
Maybe I'll check out the Silver Rush later. I hear a lot of bad things
The Atomic Wrangler
about
has you
the
covered.
Van Graffs. So we better watch ourselves, Veronica. You never know in this town. Yeah, you see them over there? Let's steer clear of them for now. We'll come back later, though. Well, it's looking like today's episode's gonna be a long one, actually, because I still have a bit more Freeside I'd like to do. Next episode, we'll be meeting the Van Graffs. So, we won't be doing that yet, but I'd still like to finish up some things in the Atomic Wrangler, and we have Mr. Bill here to meet. So, let's say hi to Bill.
You seen Dixon around? He said he'd be back today.
Julie Farkas sent me, Bill. You've got to sober up.
Julie? I love Julie. She's such a nice lady. One time I was working on the water pump, and she came over, put her hand on my shoulder, and told me I was doing a great job. Great job, she says. I just choked up and didn't say nothing. Compliments are so rare these days.
Come on, Bill. You've got to sober up. For Julie. Oh, come on, Veronica. We're not going to be able to do anything for them until we take care of their supplier. Unfortunately, I don't feel like killing them, so we're going to try and do this the diplomatic way. Well, cross your fingers, folks. I'm hoping that Francine Garrett will be here this time. Last time she was... Oh, there she is. Good. Just the person I wanted to talk to. I'm gonna save before talking to her, just in case here. If Francine's not here, you can always wait in hour increments until she shows up.
We've got liquor, chems, and whores aplenty. Pick your fix, and we'll oblige. Our only rule is no sampling the merchandise. Caps paid in advance. If you'd like to do a bit of gambling, we have an exchange at the back of the casino on the left.
The Atomic Wrangler. There is no
Caps
greater den
we don't
of
do
scum
tabs here.
in Villainy. You know what? I'm looking for a little rest
Since
and
you're
relaxation.
new, I'll lay out the rules for you. The prostitutes here aren't slaves. They decide who they service. You best make a good first impression if you want what they have to offer. Rooms are just a few caps a night. Your choice of company is extra, assuming anyone's taken a liking to you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Who said
Rooms are
anything
just
about that? I
just a few caps and it's
I just
yours.
wanted somewhere to crash for the night.
All right.
I don't suppose there's any way we can work out a deal for
I
a
have
room.
some work I need handled. Back before we instituted the caps up front rule, we used to allow customers tabs. Well, needless to say, a few customers snuck out without paying their bills. We need someone to collect. The job would pay a percentage.
Ooh, do I get to shoot anyone? Please, please, please. I really, really, really want to shoot somebody. Come on.
I'd prefer you not kill anyone with a debt. It's a bit difficult to collect on a corpse. Just get the caps from them. After that, I couldn't care less what happens to those deadbeats.
You're no fun. What kind of caps we talking about?
If you bring all their debts back, we'll give you a cut of each. 25% is more than fair. It would add up to 150 caps if you bring them all in.
Are you crazy? I'll be walking all over the place. Come on, you gotta give me a better deal.
Who the hell do you think you're talking to? Keep talking like that and your ass is gonna be in the gutter. 25%. Take it or leave it.
25%, 50-50, or I walk.
Who the hell do you think you're talking to? Keep talking like that and your ass is gonna be in the gutter. 25%. Take it or leave it.
Make sure you don't agree to do the quest yet. We'll come back when we have higher speech.
Fair enough.
And that
Anything
way we
else
can
you need?
get better pay.
I'm a busy woman.
The followers are looking for a supplier. Any chance you could help?
Interesting. Well, you're gonna need to speak with my brother, James. He handles all of the trading contracts and general operations.
Alright, I'm gonna show you folks something interesting.
Talk to you later.
If you talk to her again about the debt collection, you'll have an opportunity to refill those speech
What can I
checks.
get you?
But
Great.
Here's the
There
problem.
are 3 people who need to be tracked
the minute
down.
you
a real
talk
mixed
to her
basket
about
of
the
fruits.
debt collection, the quest is going to start. So now at this point, we cannot properly do the quest for maximum pay. So we're not going to talk to her about that yet. I know those are 2 additional speech failures, but those are going to wait for now. So we're gonna finish off this episode by finishing looting the Atomic Wrangler. There's a locked door upstairs that we will not be going through yet, but we're gonna be looting this room right here. One thing to be aware of when you're trying to steal items is your apparel that you're wearing. It always helps if you're having a hard time stealing and you keep getting detected to take off all your armor. Because light armors are going to be the easiest to sneak around in. Medium armor is going to make a lot more noise. And heavy, well, you're going to get detected a lot. Now, if they detect you but don't go into caution,
your problem, lady?
Immediately run out the door and they'll forget that you're intruding. And they'll just kind of la-di-da-di-da, walk on back. Now, this room is normally very hard locked. But once one of them leaves to go to bed, they'll leave the door permanently unlocked. So it makes it really easy to get into this room and take all this nice stuff that they just leave out for us. I would definitely save before looting this room. They are very perceptive, and they have a bad habit of going into detected mode while you're trying to take their stuff. And if it flickers to detected mode at the exact time you happen to be grabbing an item, well, then you're gonna have some trouble. So I would definitely do this slowly and cautiously. There is a lot of nice food and some extra weapons to be gotten from this room, so I really do recommend looting it. Alright, my loyal pack mule. Carry all these coffee pots and empty whiskey bottles and burnt books and all that good stuff. Veronica probably thinks I am out of my gourd bringing all this stuff back to town with me. Well, I probably am. I mean, if you saw somebody who had a backpack full of empty bottles and burnt and destroyed books, you'd probably think they've lost it.
A dress.
Well, I'm glad you're happy
totally
with
your
pack mule and Veronica. Feel free to try on that dress later. Maybe in private for me. I mean, yeah, well. Off to the side, there's a cabinet with a whole bunch of weapons. There's usually a hunting rifle and some sawed-off shotguns in there. And that hunting rifle, well, that's gonna come in very handy. I believe that the loot in that locker, for the most part, is preset, because I usually get a hunting rifle and 2 sawed-off shotguns, but your results may vary. You know, it's usually around the time that you start thinking to yourself, gee, something could probably go wrong, that it usually does. So, after eating a gecko steak here, I think I'm going to save, because I get the feeling that if I don't, I could be replaying a large portion of this all over again. Yep. Yeah, you might have just seen that. I had a little mistake. I didn't see that I was in caution, and then there was a little misunderstanding with a shotgun misfired at a few people's heads, and oh, it quickly escalated, and pretty soon the whole Atomic Wrangler was a giant firefight. It didn't end well for me. But I held my own. I took a few of them with me, but yeah, I know you folks probably would have liked to see that, but this episode's getting long enough as it is already, and well, you don't really need to see me making a pathetic fool of myself, now do ya? Really? You guys want to see that? Well, I'll keep that in mind for the future, that you guys might want to make fun of me as I get myself into all sorts of trouble. Yeah, maybe sometime I'll have to like cobble together a bloopers reel or something. Unfortunately, all of the episodes I've done so far, I haven't been able to keep the hard copies of because of space issues on my computer. Now, don't worry, that's something I'm gonna be taking care of in the near future.
Hello there.
That, and I'm also looking into upgrading my microphone quality. I have to say, I'm not too incredibly pleased with the audio quality, and I'd really like to improve that for you folks. And, well, I figure you folks deserve it, so we'll be doing that in the near future. No worries. So, to end out the episode, I'm basically going to convert all my cash to chips again. And we're gonna quickly complete some really easy challenges here. It should almost get us to level 3. Hey, we're almost level 3 and I've only killed, what, 1 rat and a Freeside thug? I think that's pretty impressive. Now, we're probably safe to gain a few early levels. It isn't really until we start getting probably over about level 12 that we start needing to worry about over leveling too quickly. But the path I'm taking should basically prevent us from over leveling, so no worries there. So what we're gonna do here quickly is we're gonna play 1 game of blackjack, which will complete our double down challenge, and if you don't already have the achievement, that will get you an achievement and 100 experience points in the pocket. And then we're gonna run over here, and you might notice I'm only betting 1 cap. I don't really want to risk breaking the bank at the Atomic Wrangler, so we're just gonna be doing 1 cap at a time. The whole goal is to get 10 wins quickly. Well, actually, it's not even 10 wins. It's just 10 games played. So win or lose, they count. After this episode, off camera, I'm gonna win up to 4,999 caps at the Atomic Wrangler. I'll get my Atomic Wrangler earnings to that, the little number in the corner. And then I'm going to sit there and bet on 1 number on roulette over and over and over off camera until I basically land on the jackpot. Oh, there's the achievement and 100 experience for playing slots. So next we're going to go over and do the same thing on roulette. I'm hoping to catch my grand prize jackpot spin on camera, but we'll see how that goes. Another thing to think about, though, is you do have a higher payout if you can pull off the win on slots, but it's gonna be a lot more frustrating. Now, I have a high tolerance for repetitive frustration on games, but I tried it once to go for the top slot payout, and I was doing it for, well, probably about 6 hours straight until I finally, I had enough. It was just too much for me to do anymore. Nope, there's the roulette challenge and achievement. So that means we're at the end of our episode, folks. Well, I'm always sad to see you folks go, but I hope you'll join me again for next episode. Veronica would like to see you too. Say goodbye to all these nice folks, Veronica. Well, she's kind of shy. Don't mind her, but I hope you folks tune in next time. Your continued support and encouragement makes this all worthwhile. So definitely keep showing me some love in the comments. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what you didn't like. But most important of all, tune in next time. See you soon.